All right, we are in the 4th of July tournament, 2023 version. Wow, the game came out in 2000. This was, might have been the first or the second tournament I ever played. And the first tournament when I first started playing the game was like the second tournament. So I think the 4th of July tournament might have been like the fourth tournament that ever happened. But it was close to the very beginning. That was in 2017, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 6 freaking years. Jeez. 6 years of playing. Here we go. All right, what are we doing here? We're going to practice some Ricky. I'm in my odd account, and I'm just going to practice, do a scouting report. Let's check it out. Hole number 1. Now, we have new pin placement, so I'm gonna scout and practice at the same time because we have new pin placement. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that we're really trying to get like up into this area and chip it on. So I'm not sure on this that pin placement's going to make that big of a difference, but let's go look at it. Let's go out and let's make sure I got 2 of my normal bags, and we'll take a Titan, the king of balls. We'll practice it and practice. We'll do a scouting report from the field. I don't have a lot of time in grade. I don't think these Wiseacre holes have played in very many tournaments, and I've only played them in tournaments, so I don't have a lot of time out there on the field on them. I'm not sure what tour or if they are in any tour. If I can get an opponent. It should be anybody practicing Ricky, hole number 1. Anywhere, we should be able to get matched up. I think they start local and then they'll expand the field. They got a power 3 ball and an APOC 6. Let's see where their red line's at. I think you might have to do a max OP, and with a freaking headwind, there's no way. There's no way. So a big topper would be better. And I don't think I have a big topper in any bag. And you could go straight forward and then just try and chip it over. Probably be a wedge. Or you can hit into the sand. Whichever you'd like to do. I don't think there's enough of the 3 power ball to get over. Man, that's 4-5 and that's 4-4 wind. It's going to be freaking close. I don't think I need all of the topspin. Shit, I don't know that I need that much. I'll leave that on there. That's 5. And 3 rings off on the left hand side. 4-4. 3 rings is 4-5. I'm going to do 4 rings just to be safe. Hit a 1 ring great to the right, but with that curl that I had on there, I should, if I can make it over, and I can't. Just against that 4-4 wind, so I was 4 rings away from the rough, and 3 rings is 4-5. And another ring, so that's like a 30% on a headwind that it laid it down, over 30, because I hit in the rough, probably half a ring. So it's affecting, so any kind of headwind like that, unless we bring out a bigger ball, we're definitely screwed. It's good information, good info. The way to do that is to play with a power 5 ball, because then you can get over to the other side. You might be able to pull back from the red line like 3 or 4 rings, maybe. Okay, there's max. There's min. There's mid. I'm eking towards max. It's 1.0 per ring at max. It's 1.3 at mid, so it's be like 1.5. I'm going to do 2 rings and then 2 full, 2.5. Hitting it perfect. close. Didn't quite pull it enough. Needed to do 3 instead of 2, and I did 2.5 instead of 2. Needed to go just a bit further. It'd be helpful, I guess. I'm sitting right next to my calculator, and I didn't have my calculator up. Can't remember what the wind was. Can't remember. I think it was like 2.6 or something. Somewhere in that neighborhood. At Mid Club it was 1.3. 1.3 plus 1.0 divided by 2. And that ain't right. 1.15. I was trying to think about what I did there. I'll have to go back and watch the video. That's the benefit that you guys have, is you can go back right now and watch the video and then come back here and you can go, you're an idiot, dude. Yep. No doubt about it. No bout about it. Okay, Ricky, practice now. Hole number 2. What is hole number 2? Let's go look at it. Let's go look at hole number 2. Hole number 2. All right. I think the old way there was a rough bump here, and I'm not sure with new pin placement that there might not be a rough bump here. So let's make sure we take a club. Let's make sure we take a bag that's got a Goliath. One of these has got to have a Goliath in it. Let's take a Katana just so we got side spin if we need it, and then we can work our way around from there. We'll go out and practice it. We'll see what options we have in Ricky that we didn't have with the new pin placement that we didn't have before. I don't think we've played the new pins. I think they're all brand new. I'm spinning. Here we go. I got to play one more hole and then you guys will have a millisecond break. I've got we're back in the convalescent hospital at the house. We've got the old lady here. I'm just wondering if there isn't, without pin placement, if there isn't, like down in this area right here, if there isn't a way for us to bring it around and do a rough bump. Right where my opponent's at right there. Look at that. They read my mind. Now what I don't like is I don't really like these kind of eye rough bumps. I would want to be more in this area right here and then bring it around, because you got a little bit more room. You want to stay in that first cut of the rough, but like when you pinch it up here in the corner, because it goes like this, if you're pinching it up here in this corner, you don't, if you hit it great to the left, it hits the second cut of the rough and immediately dies and you're stuck in the rough. And if you hit it to the right, it misses the rough entirely. And the most important part of a rough bump is hitting the rough and not ending up in the rough would be the second most important thing about a rough bump. Well, it's got to be a big number here, so like where are we at? And horizon. I think you can get this done with a sniper. There's Min Club. Push my red line a little bit farther forward if I brought out here. Let's see how much side spin I need. I'd rather be in this area if I could. And then bring it around. How close can you get? I'm in minimum club. Pretty close. There's max, there's mid. Now I'm in mid club. Mid club's 1.1 per ring. So let's write an equation here. Now I can get pretty close to my rings. I'm going to just do a straight up, whatever the wind is, divided by 1.1 per ring. size divided by 1.1. We'll just do a straight up shot at mid club. Let's see what the deal is. 2.3, 2.1 rings. Okay, what I should have figured out last time was how much spin to put on it. I put 3 side spin and 3 back spin. 2.1 rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. Probably should turn my grid on. 2.1. Getting it perfect. Well, let's see if a straight up shot, how far off that puts me. I'm not sure trajectory was, my trajectory is bad. If I'd have ran it through the cup a little bit more. It's hard to tell there if it was breaking at the very end or if it was rolling off. I'd have to get my speed right. But there is a rough bump there. And that was 3 backspin and 3 left-hand side spin. And that gave me, in that little triangle that was down there, instead of getting all the way down into the corner where you have a straighter shot, using the 3 side spin to pull me over. And I think a Katana was actually not a bad ball because I did use the side spin and it put me pretty close to dead center mid club. All right, there you have it on that one. I think we're gonna like that hole as the week goes on. That might be a good hole to really work on the numbers. It seems to me that if you brought out the right ball, you could get a bounce to get all the way up in here and you had a really, really clean shot at the cup. But I think anywhere out in this area is pretty decent. And you might have a rough bump that you can do out there, just depending. Let's go out and play it. I think, if I remember correctly, that there was a group of people that were just hitting it all the way out to the end. But if you can hit out to here, I mean, if you draw the line across them and you got all this distance forward, if you can get it out here. The deal is here is that you want it to go to the left, but if you hit the bounce over here too far to the left, you'll clip the rough. The farther you go to the left, the farther forward you got to go in order to clear and hit the fairway. So you want to kind of start it off to the right where you can get to the fairway easier and then bring it back across to the left. We'll see what we can get done with the Titan. We'll see what we can get done. Practice. We're on hole number 3. We're in Ricky. We're on hole number 3. Hole number 3. Let's see what we can get done. Let's see. Let's go practice it out on the course and see what we can see. If I can get an opponent. If, it's a big if. It's big. It's a biggin. It's a biggin. Big. Is there nobody practicing? Thank you, Steve. Thanks, Steve, for joining the channel. So they have a new feature. I don't know that I've even looked at it yet. I'm not sure that it'll seriously affect me because I have been playing for a long time, so I guess I've used a lot of balls, but I don't know, like, as far as like buying balls, whether I bought enough that I actually will ever get any rewards from it. I don't know how it works. I haven't looked at it. The deal is you have to think about that any change to the game that is significant like this is always going to benefit the people at the top. So the people at the top have shit tons of extra balls, so they're going to be able to, whatever rewards you get from that, they're already getting those rewards day one. I'm sure Tommy had a reveal. If it's already out, I'm sure Tommy had a reveal, and he's already got like Fat Mac Daddy, whatever the best stuff is. I think my opponent's in a prime spot. That dog will hunt. That dog will hunt right there. Yes, it will. Good boy. I should have set up one of my bags with a fucking big topper, because this is definitely a big topper hole. Let's swap out bags. Let's swap out balls for a Titan, the king of balls, if you will. Start off down at the right. And blue ring off down here on the right hand side. 3-5. 2 rings is 4-2. Hitting it perfect. And we'll see if that was too much curl. Much more and it would have been too much curl. Alright, 4-13. I don't know where my opponent is. Didn't see me in the shot, so they got it farther than me. They were using a Kingmaker, so they had less wind. Man, I don't think there's a rough bump there unless you had a Goliath. You'd have to have a Goliath with you. Or a Horizon, if they're in their sniper. I wasn't paying attention. Close. That close. That close. What are we in? We're in Grizzly. Grizzly. There's Max. Shit, there's minimum Grizzly. There's Hornet. Shit, I might be able to get there with a Hornet. No. There's no way I'm making it with a Grizzly. Hornet Max Club. 1.0 per ring. $3.9. 1.0. 3.9 rings. There's 3.9. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. Need to pull it just a little bit more, like 10%. And I was obviously too fast. So I don't know. I can't remember if I ran it all the way to the cup or if I was past the cup or where I was at. But when I go back and watch the video, I'm reminding myself, so I will hear this and then I will go, hey, dummy, go back and look at that. Again. Go look at it. Then you can tell me. Then we'll both know. Ah, it's my turn. In the hole. Eagle. Alright. It's a draw. I don't like that you can't win anything anymore when you're practicing. I paid for it. They paid for it. Why can't we get the par 3s for extras, a bonus? Like, give us a carrot. Hole number 4. What do we have in store for us for hole number 4? Hole number 4. Now, there was a way with a ball that had more than 3 side spin to get over here in this neck. You had to have like 4 or 5 side spin to do it. With a 3 side spin ball, you could do it. You could land right here, but you had to limit your top spin to get over here. But if you brought out a ball that had more than 3 side spin, you could start upping your top spin. I think to get to this spot was only just like two top spin. And it was a max curl shot with a power 3 ball and now it may have been a bigger power ball. It may have been, but I'm going to do it with power 3 ball, no matter what, even if I have to do overpower. And an APOC. There's some logical spot out there to set up. Now you can, and probably the wise way to go at this hole from where the tee box is, down here, is just to hit it straight out into this area to the tip, and then you've got a straight up shot across the creek. You can probably do a rough bump here depending on the clubs that you bring. And so you have several different options from this spot, and it's got to be close. And if you bring out a bigger ball, you may be in a smaller club. So you can probably get out here with a katana, but I'm not sure what the second shot would look like. But you can try and get over. And if there is an opportunity for us to get right off, like right here, or right here, although if you draw an arc across, it's not that much more distance to get here than it is to get all the way to the tip. And you don't have the rough bump if you're playing to this spot. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we can get done. I think the smart move is just to play it straight. If you hit perfect all the time, that's definitely the smart move. But if you've got the ball inventory, why not go for it on the left? That's why you bought those 5 side spinners, 7,200 side spin balls, 15 power, 8 top spin boost, 27 top spin assist balls. You know they're coming. It may not be this year or next year, but you know, like in the next couple of years, they're going to raise everything up. They'll expand it out, and they'll be like Power 6 balls. They may have to change the grid stuff, but they've done that once before, so that's not a new deal. You can just get straightforward. We're playing the wrong hole. We are definitely playing the wrong hole. $10-3. Eight rings. 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost 8. Man, that wind carried a lot. Carried me a lot. And I put on 20%. It was still 8.24 rings. I did move it 8 rings. I probably could have hit it over if I brought out a big enough ball. That wind is pushing it so much. Especially if I brought out a 0 wind ball. Yeah, there you go. I didn't like the landing zone, but getting over was good. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. One ring great to the left. I would have preferred to have been on the fringe, but beggars can't be choosers when you're recovering. We must have picked up, I'm not sure exactly what we did there. That must be a pro in or something. It might be expert. I played expert for a long time. I liked expert. You can do shit in expert because of the way that the wind's blowing that you can't do in any other tour. You can do some spectacular shots with the wind that you can get in expert, especially if you have the right ball. So we know what that hole looks like. If we were playing from one of the back tees. Play it out, might as well practice it. Practice, practice, practice. See, these are the times right here where you're out and you're actually playing, where you'd like to win a chest. And I'm not winning a chest against VZ. Don't have any opportunity to win a chest against VZ, and we both paid to play here. So they may give you more free stuff, or it seems like you're opening up more stuff and getting more shit, which is shit, but there's a lot of opportunities out here on the course that you're not getting chests. And we paid for it. Yeah, that was an expert. Damn it. Let's see if we can just go play this hole. Let me set up a bag. I need to do two things here. First of all, I need to set up my damn grid. The test pattern. Let's get that going. And let's set up a bag that's got a big topper in it. And it's usually my number 3 bag. Let's set up my number 3 bag like it's normally set up. Big dog. And I will leave the Goliath in it. And I've got my number 2 bag like I normally have it. There's my utility bag. Alright, let's go look at this hole one more time so I can remember what the hell it is. Alright, since it took me 5 hours to get to it. And we're bringing a Kingmaker because we really do need it, the side spin. Let's play rookie. The wrong one last time. Alright, finally. An hour later. You're finally playing the right hole, and you could have just forfeited. But what kind of cheesy move is that? I would imagine that my opponent would continue to play, and it wouldn't cost them a practice token, me forfeiting. But trying to be a good sport about it, not forfeiting, not trying to screw my opponent up. I think that was part of the problem too with the forfeiting before. Was people would go out there, you'd get some douchebags that would go out there and they would take their shot and then they would forfeit, and it would cause the other person to have a forfeit, and the other person didn't get to take their shot. But the other person definitely got to practice. Practice. Alright, there is a shot down here, and I believe times 1.1 divided by 1.5, 2.2 rings. And I believe it's only just a couple topspin, maybe 2.5, maybe 2.5. Three, 2.2 rings. Two. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can just lay it up out in front and not hit anything. I had a little bit more topspin I could have put on that trajectory. A little. Maybe 2 3/4, but I'm not sure if I could have eked on much more. That's about as close as I can get. And I think if you did the arc, I'm closer than you could possibly get if you went all the way straight forward. But not much. I don't know what club I'm in. I think it's a mid rapier, if I remember correctly. But I'm not sure if I can run it or if I have to, if I can run it, I might be able to get it to mid club. It's good that my opponent hit it a different direction. That way we can see it from multiple angles. Get out! Damn it. Okay, there's Hornet, there's Rapier, there's Max. So 3.5 divided by 1.2, if it was straight up, it'd be 3 rings. It'd be 2.91. I'm going to move it 3 rings. Hitting it perfect. In and out. That hit the flagpole. That was the right trajectory. It was just a little bit too much speed, and I actually ran a little bit more on that one because of the one that was short earlier, and we were going against the headwind, so I was like, I better run it through just a little bit to make sure it is going fast enough. And I guess it was going a little too fast, and there is a rough bump there if you're at that angle. So if you hit it over to that side, you could do a rough bump there. And that would be a pretty nice little shot. Pretty nice. Depending on where you're at out there, you're probably in wedge, depending on ball selection. It might be one of those things where you bring out a bigger ball, not necessarily for the drive, because it really helps you on the second shot, because it puts you in wedge on the second shot. I think that's I'm going to have to try out. I like getting around the corner, and if you bring out a ball that's got more side spin, you can put on all of the top spin and try and get right up next to the green. You can actually overdo it, where the other side of the thing there is I believe, if I remember correctly on it, if you go back and rewind the video, down in this area right here, I was pinched up. I was like 1.5 rings off of this transitional surface. I was trying to pinch it up because I was going in this direction, and I only put on, what, 2.5 topspin, and ended up in this area, so I had a little bit of room in front of me. This is something to consider. When you run topspin and you put on more topspin, that means this first bounce is farther out. So when you run more topspin, you're not just going to be in the same spot with more topspin. You'll actually be to the right just a little bit more. So you could run out. So what I had on there is probably about as much as I could have got on that trajectory. But if I had a ball that had 3 or 4 side spin, so that I could make up the distance and start off over here, you can actually over curl it. So you got to give yourself more space down in this area so you don't over curl it, which is good because it gives you more leeway down here. So bringing out a bigger side spin ball not only helps you on this side, it helps you over here as well. But I think you really only need a three power ball. I mean, even on headwind days, I think I pulled back a little bit from the red line. Maybe. I believe so. All right, what do we got in store for us next? Practice. Where are we practicing? Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? What do we have in store for us here? All right. Now we may have a rough bump here. Let's go out and play this one. Let's go look and see what we got going. Well, we can change balls. We'll probably be able to go to a Navigator or a Quasar. But we might have a rough bump here. I have no idea with what club. Probably Goliath. If we can get an opponent. There's got to be somebody out there wanting to practice hole number 5. Although, that is kind of a random deal. I go first. Then Sniper. There's Min with a freaking power 3 ball. But there is a rough bump. I like this rough bump too. Let's see if I can get today. I'm 1 ring away from the front. Try and give myself enough room I can work the wind out without involving the sand. And that was just a straight up 1-to-1, no extra. And over pulled it just a little. Which is funny compared to where I landed out there. I guess where I landed out there was pretty close to where I had it set up. I was only 1 ring away from the front, and that's about where it hit. So I actually could have taken, the way the wind's going, yeah, I over pulled it. Just doing 1-to-1, so like taking off like 0.2. If I'd have taken off 0.1, it'd have been 2.6. Instead of 2.9. If I'd have taken off 10%, it'd have been 2.62. instead of 291. So 0.3. 0.2. My opponent would have missed it, I think, right on the edge. They needed to take off 0.1. Go back and watch theirs and see how they set theirs up. And theirs was probably 0.2 away from mine. 0.1. Right on the edge. Right on the edge. All right, what do we have here in store for us for hole number 6? Hole number 6 at Wiseacre. Okay, what is hole number 6? I literally do not know. All right, it seems to me like I was trying to get up into this area. I was trying to do the bounce over or around the bend. Like you were coming from this way. I think you could come, if you brought out the right stuff, there was a way to get from here to get over. Like you had to bring out a power 5 ball and get down there and get the bounce over to try and get the run straight forward instead of trying to bring it around this way. I think bringing it around this way is definitely big topper. Trying to run your topspin out to get it out into this area so you can come out it. But I think if you bring out a really big ball, you can try and go down here if the wind's blowing right. We'll have to see which way the wind's blowing. We have no idea, so we'll just go play it. We'll go play it. We'll go see what our red lines look like. I have to reinvent the wheel every time I get to this hole. I think if you bring out a power 5 ball, if the wind's blowing right, you can go straight forward. But in practice, the wind's always going to be blowing headwind. Because all of the holes are in a straight fucking line. Wow, we got tailwind. Look at that. Yeah, and I think that's the way, like if you hit it over there and you can get, you can overhit it. And I think the shot going straight forward, if you bring out a power 5 ball, is actually a rough bump. And you're rough bumping out into the fairway out there, if I remember correctly. We'll see. We're going to find out because I'm going to bring out a power 5 ball and we're going to try it. The bounce rock. The rock bounce. The bounce rock. That's my dyslexia taking over. 354. I don't think you can get it done with a power 3 ball. I think your bounces are in the wrong spot. Even with the 2-4 wind, I'm going to have to bring out a berserker, and we'd have to switch to a number 1 bag so we could get that last little bit of topspin, eke it out and get that right there. There we go. Now we're cooking with oil. And that one ring grate to the right took away all of the curl that I had in there, so I'm pretty much looking at a straightforward shot. And that's, you can get a little bit better if you bring out a topspin boost ball. You can try and miss that rough entirely and try and bleed down that fairway. So you can get a little bit closer if you bring out the right stuff, but mortal stuff, that's about it. So anything on our side of the fence, we can use the wind to help us, and I think we can get out there. But any negative wind, any wind on the other side of the fence is going to be really detrimental for us. And I think there might be, if we brought out a Goliath, there might be a rough bump here. There might be, but I don't think I have a Goliath in this bag. I have a Grizzly. But this might definitely be a bag to have a Goliath in. Oh yeah, for sure. You can see how far I can make it with a Grizzly. Shit, with a Goliath you could make it all the way there. And we're right in the spot where we're in max Grizzly, so we would be eking towards mid Goliath. .7 divided by 0.9. If I did a straight up shot, it'd be 411. I'm going to do a straight up shot. 411. Exactly. Hitting it perfect. Didn't pull it enough. Needed to do at least 10%. Instead of 411, if I'd added on 10%, I'd have been 4.5. And that's probably what I needed. Plus 10, I'd start there and take off or subtract or add on like 0.1, whichever way it needs to go. See if my opponent can get there with a quasar. A katana. Excuse me. A katana. One ring great. Probably missed. It did. Look at that. Hedge your bets. Hit the ball to win. I won't win anything, but I will win. Eagle. All right. What do we have in store for us for hole number 7? Is it hole number 7? Are we on hole number 7 already? We are. Hole number 7. Practice now. What is hole number 7? We're in the final 3. We're in the last gasp. Now, there was also, if you brought out the right ball, there was a way to get over here on this side. You can use the rough here and try and rough it out with a bigger club and end up like in this area. I think it's also possible for you to hit here with a bigger ball and try and bridge the gap to get over. There is a superior shot if you get over to the other side, but there is some risks involved. It is tough to get over there. But typically, if you're in trouble in an area and you're really, really close. I think the layup shot, if you're playing one-on-one, just right here is pretty stinking easy. Stinking. Let's go play it. There's a lot of different ways that we can play this hole, so let's go look at it. Let's decide which way we want to go at it. I usually am really aggressive on this hole and try and get to the other side. Why wouldn't you? The deal is, if you're on the other side and you're in the rough or you're in the sand, you're so damn close that if you hit perfect, you're going to make it. And so, like, the mass majority of the time, you're going to make it. And if you make it to the fairway, then you got a really superior shot at it. The other side, you can have a consistent shot at it. So there is that. Hitting it to a spot that you can hit to every time so you can really dial in the second shot, especially if you hit perfect on a regular basis, is definitely good. Definitely. Kmart sucks. Let's see which way my opponent's going to go. So they got a power 3 ball, and they're going to just try and rough bump it out. That's really probably the way to go. They can use the wind today, so they can try and rough bump it out pretty aggressive. That was aggressive. And they missed the rough entirely. Went in the drink. That is what I call aggressive. And I'm just trying to rough bump it. That is one way that you can do it, is just try and rough bump it out right there. 4.5. 4.5 times 1.25 divided by 1.5 is 3.75 rings. I'm going to move it 4 just so that we can make sure that we've got enough, because that wind is really killing it. Oh, and that right there killed it. That was 2 solid rings great to the left or right. And you got to hit it farther to the right to hit it out of the rough. So I'm actually where they were trying to hit. Dunner's texting me during the shootout. Look at that. We'll call him and see if he wants to talk some shit for the last 2 holes. What do we got here? There's Man.
Hello.
There's Max. What's up, bro?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Sitting here recording. I was recording a walkthrough video, and I was on hole number 8, and you texted me, and I thought I'd rattle your chain. I'm in mid club, so if I add on 10%, that'd be.
I texted you.
5-5, so that'd be a whole ring
I
set.
texted you like yesterday afternoon.
I'm gonna add on 10%. Well, I'm just gonna take a straight up shot. It's 1.1 per ring. It's 1.3 mid. That's what I did. Oh, and then I hit it 75,000 rings. Great.
But it goes in anyway.
What a loser. What a loser. Go in anyway, right? You never can tell. I don't think I've dropped anything all day. And I'm on hole 8.
No, I messaged you yesterday in the afternoon, and then fucking my friends called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I figured it was your guys' Independence Day yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I figured you guys were.
I didn't have any plans, but
I
texted you, and then like half an hour later, someone called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Come hang out." So I was like, "Okay." So didn't get to finish my rounds.
I figured that's what it was. Yeah,
just at a buddy's house right now, but I'm probably gonna take off here in a bit. Gonna play a bit of hockey with my stepbrother, but I'll give you a shout when I'm done playing hockey. Are you doing like a practice round or something right now?
I'm doing a walkthrough, looking at the hole, but it's got new pin placement, so I was just doing a playing the deal.
Well, if you want later when I get home or whatever, when I'm done, I'll give you a shout. We can maybe do like a fake or use some practice tokens and play a practice round or something if you want.
Okay. We can talk to you then.
Cool. Later.
Bye. Look at that. You got some bonus content. Hole number 9. What is hole number 9? What is hole number 9? Was that hole number 8? That was hole number 7. Hole number 8. All right. We still got. Now we do have a rough bump here. We do. Let's make sure we take some stuff. Take some bag. We want to have a bag with multiple shit in it. All right. We do have a Goliath, and we want to take. I think we can do this with just a Nirvana. I don't think we need anything special for hole number 8. Let's make sure we don't do that. Again, hole number 8. Hole number 8. Here we go. Maybe sometime this year I'm gonna walk. That usually fires it up. I get away from my desk and away from my stylus. I'm going to get a Pepsi, a Diet Pepsi. We'll make sure we sponsor the right company here. An Irish Death beer, which I don't drink, but my mother-in-law does. Dream Killer. You're at the right spot, buddy. Live action. Maybe. I go first. I told you getting up and walking around, I usually do it. Okay, there's Max. There's Man. So that's mid club with a big dog. I'm gonna do it with a sniper. Give myself 3 rings. I'm gonna wedge myself 3 rings up. See if I can get the ball to go that way. .2 rings. Let's make sure I am in mid club. I am in mid club. So I'm gonna do just 1-to-1. So at mid club, my sniper hits 1.1. I was going to add on 10%. So I'm going to do just whatever the wind is. I feel like I should do whatever the wind is plus 10%. Just play it at 1-to-1 plus 10%. We'll see. I'm going to play it at 1-to-1. That's mid plus 10%. We'll see. Now, but I think if we have to pull over the sand, we're going to have to make an adjustment. We're going to have to push it forward like a half a ring or something. And a 3 side spin ball would help. Even a bigger side spin ball, so that we could be more in the center of that, so we don't have to involve the sand, try and eliminate the sand from the process. Let's switch that ball up. We can go to a quasar and at least eke out 2. See what that gives us. 4.8. I like that spot. 4.8. 4.8 exactly. Hitting it dead center perfect. This will give us a really good indication of whether or not that spot it's pretty close. Could have pulled it like 0.1 more. That spot plus 0.1, and maybe a little teeny bit more distance, as far as like that would have barely made it to the cup. It would have gone in, but just a little teeny bit more energy would have been better. Would have been better. There we go. Got a good look at that one. Hole number 9. What is hole number 9? Well, first of all, we're not going to get any idea about wind. All right, the goal here, and I think if you bring out one of those topspin boost balls, you can get all the way up to the tip. And you got to start off over here. So extra mile or big topper. And I think if I use my big topper, what I'd want to do to maximize the distance that I can get in here is I'd want to start so that I was more on this track and use its curl so that I can stay away from this edge. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what it looks like. I believe, and in my 77 account, I have some of those Power 3 topspin boost balls, but I don't have any here, I don't believe. I'm just going to use a Titan. And I'm going to use a Kingmaker just because I have more of it. And we're going to use one of... If I take the second shot here, I'm going to wish I had a sniper. But a Goliath might work. And we'll see which bag... offers us the most... advantage. Let's play rookie. Play hole number 9. Here we go. Here we go. Anybody remember that commercial? Anybody get that? Thank you, John, for replaying your way into the stream. I go first. Of course I do. I'm playing a replay. Fuck. Top spin's more important. That is 3.5 rings off. It's 2.1 per ring. I think I'm going to use that setup right there. 2.5 rings out, or 3.5 rings out. We'll see which way my opponent's going at it. I don't think I like the way my opponent's going at it. But I wasn't fully paying attention to their shot. I know that they didn't like, nor do I like, the fucking good to the left. But that dog right there will hunt. I think they can make it from there with a power 3 ball. Faux show. Now, you can hit it straight forward. Now that I'm sitting here looking at the hole, there is a way to hit it straight forward. And there is a rough bump that you can do on that mound. Now, I'm not a fan of that personally. I'm going to be 4 whole rings off. 2.5. It's 2.1 per ring, so it's like a ring and a quarter. I'm going to do a ring and a half. That was 2 rings, a good solid ring, great to the right. Where it'll kill me is over here, like on the... it killed me on the second bounce. I was hoping I would be able to make it. You got to hit it farther in that little area down there where I was trying to hit. You got to hit it farther forward in order to clear the rough if you hit it to the right. Where I was thinking it would fail is that it would actually clear that and then it would run out of fairway. But I was wrong. This area right here, if you hit all the way to the tip, there is, underneath of that tree, there's a spot where you can do a rough bump. It's super fucking dangerous. Dunner does it. And I've seen several people from out in this range where my opponent's at do it. But you definitely got to bring the right stuff. And I'm going to end up doing it. There's max. Shit, I'm at minimum club. So 3 times 1.1 divided by 1.2 is 2.75 rings. $275. Oh, fuck, that was 2 solid rings, great to the right. In the rough. It's even dangerous from that direction. If you hit it farther forward and you don't clip the rough like I did, you clear that and you have a straight up shot at it and you don't have to involve that rough at all. But you got to hit it way out there. You got to hit it at least halfway out into that fairway in order to clear that tree in that area. And then you have a straight up shot at it. So this is what I'm talking about. So I clipped down here and was down in this area. So coming at it like this, had to involve it. But if I would have cleared and ran forward, I was thinking that I would run into the rough right here. But if you get out into this area, you know, or anything on the other side of this line, then you've got a straight up shot at it and you don't have to do the rough. The rough isn't in the way. You don't have to do a bunch of backspin. You can just like walk the shot right up to the cup. This is the area to be. That's why a topspin boost ball will get you all the way up into the shadow. It'll get you way the fuck up there. Definitely want to bring out that. Now, that ball, you still have to set it up down in here. And bringing out the big topper, I wasn't able to get the forward distance. But so my red line was back here, but I was able to keep it a little. I went out 4 rings from this transitional area so that I could allow for my curl. So if we draw a line from the tee box down here, to the area where I was at up in, so I was going off in this direction trying to cover this swing. And the Big Topper maxed out has a, or not maxed out, but has a lot of curl when it gets, it starts off with a lot of curl, but it ends up with a lot of curl. Trying to get that run and clipped it right here. Hitting great to the right. Okay, there we go. There you have it. There you have it. I like this course. I think I like this course. I don't see a lot of super gimmies on this course. There are opportunities if we bring out the right stuff to get aggressive with it. This is really a course, whoever designed this course, they had Playdemic in mind, because there are a lot of these holes that having the right ball, having the right club, you know, on a hole like this, you may be able to get it done if you've got a bigger side spin ball with a different club, because you can swing it around and shorten up the distance. So if you bring out one club here, you need to have 4 side spin, but if you brought out another club, you wouldn't need as much top spin if you had 5 side spin, because you could bring it over closer. It might change your stuff. All right, there you have it. That is a look at the 4th of July, the 2023 4th of July. That's a look at all the holes. And Ricky with the new pin placement, just going out there and playing them, seeing what they look like. And you got a bonus. Hey, you got bonus content. You got an expert hole. I don't know how I did on it, but we got an expert hole as well. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a great week. And I will see you on the next video.